Hey, gun people. That's a good one. San Francisco, lovely liberal city. Lots of cops. Man, you can't go to call without, I got a crazy cop story where I came out of a restaurant there and just got finished eating, and they were breaking in a car, and we ended up chasing the guy down and catching him, and the cops were pissed because we made them do work. And but anyway, that's one of my crazy cop stories. Once my Think Like a Cop comes back up. So anyway, these cops show up to a call with a guy with a gun who supposedly threatened somebody. Now, this is kind of some cops are going to have a problem with this language, kind of a routine call when you're working in a ghetto crap high crime area. And that's pretty much all of San Francisco. Unfortunately, it's a really beautiful city, man. I used to love to go down there nice and cool, but, the liberals have just turned it into a cesspool. But it's pretty common to have people threatening with guns and brawls, and this guy's got a gun, he's got a knife, and he's 90% of the time is BS. So you can tell these cops, for responding to a guy with a gun who threatens somebody, to me, they're lackadaisical, standing around deciding what donut shop to go to next attitude is why this thing got out of control. But again, they have to react. Cops have to react. Suspects get to act. This guy gets to shoot first. He does shoot first, and then they have to react, draw their gun, take cover, return fire, not shoot innocent civilians, etc. And it's kind of a little unclear on, I think he shot, and this is from police activity, he shot 21 or 18, let's see. Two cops fired 26 shots, and the suspect fired 18, or was hit 18 times. So 26 rounds, 18, that's a pretty good hit ratio. That's a lot higher. Why is that hit ratio so good? Because they were close. They were in a confined area, and nobody was running and moving, and you weren't chasing. One guy wasn't running. One guy wasn't chasing. You didn't have a car involved. You didn't have a lot of things to hide for cover. This happened in close quarters. The two cops were in the same room with the bad guy when the shooting starts. And that's why the guy was hit so many times. Normally, cops fire 26 rounds. You're lucky if the bad guy gets hit once or twice. And I forgot how many. I think he fired 9 shots. Yeah, shooting 9 shots. So suspect fired 9. Both cops turned around, fired 26. Nobody tried to shoot the pinky toe, and he was hit 18 times. Poor guy. Just out trying to commit a gun crime, and cops are shooting him 18 times. It's a damn crime. Okay, let's take a look at the video now that I've set it up. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops so far that we can see at a call with a man with a gun. Now, any cop with officer safety, and that's tactically sound, and that is what I call a road dog, who deals with bad guys all the time and who have their street awareness, any cop that sees this knows this is like, dude, you guys are freaking sitting ducks. If these guys were in the military out on patrol, you could throw in a freaking spitball and take out 5 of them. I mean, no distance, no cover, no awareness, no nothing. Looking for threats. Have we secured the scene? Are the people searched? Have we identified the parties? Do we know if this is BS or real? I mean, this attitude is typical San Francisco cops because they get beat up. They don't care. San Francisco is famous for hiring the first gay, transgender, sex, whatever person as the chief. They're all about PC ignorance, and cops are the devil. And if you do anything as a cop, you're going to be blamed. So what do cops do? They make their 120 grand, 130 grand a year salary, and they walk around with their hands in their pockets, eat donuts, and kind of talk to each other. And that's the attitude. And any cop that's worked with or worked for San Francisco PD will tell you I'm dead on.
Nobody? Okay. You copy? Someone go make the 909?
So we're in a small enclosed area. You have a lot of people around. I believe the suspect is over here. How many cops you got outside? What, 8, 9, 10? I don't know. And 2 cops inside. And I want you to watch what happens when rounds start flying and they're going to show an angle to all these cops outside. What do? Well, Rick, they're cops. They're trained. They're going to immediately rush in because the public's in danger and their job is to protect the public. And they're going to immediately, because they have bulletproof vest badges and they work for their government and they got guns and they got those mean AR-15 and they're just our protectors. So as soon as the shooting starts, obviously they're all trained to run into the store and protect all the unarmed citizens because nobody can have a gun in San Francisco. Yeah, okay. You keep believing that lie and watch what happens when the shooting starts.
God damn it! Cover! Get down!
This guy shoots, goes dry. Gun locked to the rear. He's on the ground. He's been hit. I think he was hit once or twice in the leg. I'm not sure. But notice he stays in a fight. Good for him. Cops are taught, hey, man, just because you get shot, you got to stay in a fight or this dude's going to keep pumping rounds in you. You're going to lose. And they fired 26 rounds, and they emptied their freaking guns, just like most people. Now, somebody with a green screen will be saying, you know, if this officer was trained correctly, he should have been counting his rounds. And he should know how to do a tactical combat reload before he fires his last round because that's what a bunch of other police told me they were trained. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm telling you, not from a green screen. You shoot in a shooting till you're out of bullets and then you reload. All this crap about counting your rounds and remembering, you ain't thinking that. This dude's bleeding, he's hurt, he's in fight or flight, he's returning fire. Nobody's counting stinking rounds, okay? Anybody that's pressing that shit is an idiot and ain't been out in the field. I know somebody's going to crack. Notice he used his slide release. Good for him. He's practiced that way. His training kicked in, and it worked. I know I have a video about Glock saying, hey, use the slingshot method. It's better. Look, most people on the range use their slide release. If it works for you, great. He's not in shock. He's staying in the fight. He's not having huge effects of this shooting like a lot of people will have. And he was able to use his thumb. He used a fine motor skill. He dropped his mag. He reloaded his mag, and he dropped it. He's still in the fight. Hey, he's keeping his head. This cop's doing a lot of things right.
I got kids! I got kids here! There's a kid in here!
So I'm thinking this is suspect after they've dumped their guns on him, and he's over here bleeding out, and people are going to say, Rick, why aren't they offering first aid? Why did they shoot him so many times? Why didn't they shoot him once to see if he would stop shooting? Well, because you're an idiot if you're asking those questions. You might as well be a politician or work for CNN News, because it just don't happen that way. That's why. Who's yelling what? Who's saying what? Who's following orders? Who's not following orders? Can anybody tell? The cops involved in this, believe me, they can still tell what's going on. They're focused on things. Each cop is focused on different things. Some cop may be focused on getting out of there. This cop needs to be focused on his injury and stopping the blood flow. They're trying to communicate to other officers. All this screaming and yelling is forcing them to breathe. When you yell and scream and talk, it forces air out, which means you're sucking air in, which means you're getting oxygen. A lot of people tend to hold their breath in high-stress situations. So this screaming and yelling, although it may seem like it's doing nothing and it's overlapping and nobody can understand it and why do they do it, it's training to stay in control, holler commands, verbalize what you want the suspect, verbalize so other cops know, continue to verbalize so you're breathing and sucking air in and out. So he's still moving his leg and they're still yelling hands. You know what? I'm probably shooting again. If he moves, I'm shooting again. I'm not waiting for him to pick up a gun and fire and maybe get a lucky shot and hit me in the head. He's already tried to kill me. Deadly force is authorized. He is still a threat. He is still armed. I'm still in fear of my life. When that leg moved 2 seconds ago here, I think I can go back 10 seconds to see that maybe. You're going to see his leg move. See that leg move? I think I'm shooting again. And I know people will be like, well, that's overuse of force, and you should have fire control, and according to the green screen, you should verbalize and give the guy a chance. Shut up, freaking idiots. I have kids! I have kids here! I have kids! Somebody keeps yelling, I have kids in here. Again, this is what's called, when the court describes it, as a rapidly evolving, chaotic situation. Nobody knows what the left is doing. Nobody knows what the right is doing. We're getting constant updates of information. We're getting massive amounts of information from multiple people. We still have an uncontrolled violent crime scene with a guy that's armed that just tried to kill us. And now you're throwing into the mix, I have kids, there's kids in here, and this guy's trying to get to his kid. I don't know if he's trying to get to it. I don't know if he thinks they're shot. I don't know if he's trying to tell the cops not to shoot because of his kids. Look, I mean, it's unfortunate, but cops don't really care about kids right now. They care about stopping this dude and making it safe so no other cops get shot or getting out of there alive. And I realize as a parent there's going to be somebody there, well, my kids are my priority, and I'm running in, and I don't, well, and you can do that. That's up to you. Anybody that says a kid back there wants to go get his kid can run over there and go grab his kid. Cops probably aren't going to shoot him, but you're taking a high risk that the suspect won't shoot you, or if the suspect does shoot at the cops and you're in between them when the cops return fire, you're going to get hit. Look, there's consequences to choices, and I understand there's no right and easy answer. Unlike politicians, lawyers will try to tell you there's easy answer. Green screen people will try to tell you there's easy answers, and you got to have your tactical training and keep your breathing and be aware and carry your pepper spray. And, you know, you can get all that, but I'm telling you, dude, when shit goes down, it's chaotic. And you survive and you do the best you can. So for somebody to come here and pick on these guys, you know, with a bunch of if and buts and coconuts, well, whatever. You know, we're trying to work through the best we can in a volatile, high-risk, deadly situation that we don't want to die. And if you can't understand that, well, then shut up and keep your opinion and stay in the stands and let the players on the field play the game. Notice this cop up here on a bench. I've done this several times. I've said it. I've had cops come tell me, you should never walk on furniture. First of all, it's not your furniture, and it's not a good stand, and you could trip, and it's not tactically sound, and you aren't taught that. Look, I'm telling you, I've been on furniture and on top of cars many times because I want high ground, and it's the safest and best avenue that I can see, and that's where I go. And when I'm searching houses, if I'm moving in on somebody with a gun or if there's shots fired in a room and I'm moving, I'm going on furniture for a couple reasons. One, I want high ground. One, I want to hang out of the way so I can have more officers in the middle. And two, I want to make sure nobody's hiding underneath these. So if I step on somebody hiding underneath the cushion, I'm going to feel it, or they're going to feel me, or I'm going to hear them. So this guy walking, somebody may say he's wrong and he shouldn't do it. Look, I've done it several times. I got no problem with it. I think it's a good move. He's getting high ground. He's above the dude. He's getting a better view of the entire area so he can see where the gun's at and where his hands are at. I got no problem with him being up there. I know somebody, probably the green screen guy, will be like, oh, that's not very secure ground and has a tactical instructor. You should always maintain your footing on a solid whatever. He's moving. I think I'm shooting. If he can move his knee, he can move his hand. If he can move his hand, he can pull a trigger. He's a threat. I think I'm shooting when he's moving. I know a lot of cops will be like, well, you'd be crucified and they'd charge you. You know what? Hey, I'm getting out of there. I'm surviving. I'm going home. I'll deal with the bullshit afterwards. Now, you notice all those cops that were outside, where are they? What the hell happened? There was 9 cops out there. Why is there still a cop bleeding on the floor, and there's one cop on the other side of the room and one at the door? Where the hell are all those cops coming in to save the civilians that they unarmed? Hell, they ain't even come in to save their buddy cops who are armed, because that's what government does. Finally, an officer grabs him and drags him out. I mean, I can't believe it took this long. That room should have been full of cops, full of guns, and basically made a wall that if that dude moved again, instead of getting hit 26 times or 18 times, he'd have been hit 54 times. Once a guy starts shooting at you, all bets are off. But anyway, any of you idiots that think government is going to protect you, government ain't even protecting them. The federal government, their fellow government officers, they're outside behind cover. And that's the law enforcement we're hiring. That's the type of cops we're hiring with affirmative action, equal opportunity, diversity, tolerance. We've got to hire the first deaf cop in Texas. And that's the kind of cops you get. And if you think government's going to come in and save you after they take your guns, when they take away your ability to defend yourself, well, you're just the biggest kind of fool there is.
He's on the ground.
So this is what the cops do on the outside. Notice we still have cops showing up over here. There's still cops coming. They've already got 9, 10, 12, 15 cops on scene. Still showing up. Because we always need more cops and more government. So afterwards, they can come and draw chalk lines. Nobody's got their gun out. Nobody's got their hand on their gun. Nobody's moving tactically. I mean, officer safety here is really, really weak. And probably because most of these cops have gotten complaints, you can't be too aggressive. Don't put your hand on a gun because it makes the public nervous. It makes it seem like you're scared of everything. It makes it seem like you're being one of those cops that just want to shoot somebody. So don't put your hand on your gun and don't look too aggressive and mean, because we have to be tolerant. And we have to run around because not all rattlesnakes bite. We have to go and shake hands and kiss rattlesnakes until they bite.
Someone should make the 909, please.
You guys got me confused with somebody else. What's your name?
1035 as well.
Nobody?
Notice the woman just entered this facility. I've said it 1,000 times. When cops are around, you don't want to go walking in that area. Whatever they're doing, no matter how simple it seems, it can go bad very quickly, and it's very easy for you to catch around either from the cops or the bad guy. Avoid areas where you see cops gathering. It's just not a good move. And I know people are going to be, well, you shouldn't be scared of the cops, and they're there to protect us, and we should. I'm just telling you. You see a bunch of cops like this, they're not there because it's a donut convention. And you just walking in between them because you're cool and because you can, and these cops can't stop me because it's a free country and I can walk where I want. And if I want to walk in here, you know what? She might be one of the ones that got shot, because I think there was 4 or 5 citizens that got shot.
Okay.
Everyone, do you copy? Someone go make the 909.
Wow, look at all the cops running in to help and save. Wow. Isn't that great? This is what, when you don't hire meat eater cops, when you hire tolerant, accepting cops, when you brainwash them that it's bad to be aggressive and suspicious. It's bad to be on your guard. This is what you get. I saw these cops run. I was like, dude, if I wasn't shot, I'd be out there beating your ass after this census.
God damn it!
Cover, yeah. But Rick, they're all armed, and I thought they were supposed to run in and save you. When they tell you they're going to take your guns and when they're going to protect you, government says they're going to come and save you. Did you see all these cops standing around here before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 15. Where are they now? They all ran. And they didn't run in to save anybody. They ran away. Typical San Francisco. Typical liberal city. Typical liberalization, pussification of the country, of cops, of men, of meat eaters. This is what you get. And then you want to give them your guns and say they'll protect you? Jesus Christ, where's this country going? All right, we'll end that there.